Paradise can get a little predictable. Money is always a solid motive for murder, and it all comes down to one simple question. If he's Arab, why is his name Turkish Pete? Hand gesture like this. Lucifer is decapitated. No, and here we thought this whole time Killing Eve was a different show. We are talking Netflix's Lucifer, Season 4, Episode 4, all about Eve. The AfterBuzz After Show starts right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Yes, let me introduce the panel. That's what we're going to do. We're going to introduce the panel because we are talking everything Netflix's Lucifer, Season 4, Episode 4. It's all about Eve. And we really need to get to know this Eve character. Stephen Lemieux, all the way to the left.
Hey, guys. I love this episode. It was amazing. What did you guys think of it?
Well, I want him to introduce me before I tell you what I think of it.
Let's see what Roxy's talking about. Roxy, the queen of the queens, the queen of all things.
Yeah, wow. I thought I was the brain of knowledge, but I guess
you were the
I'm
queen of brains. But
queen of brains.
Every time I watch one of our after shows back, you keep moving up and up.
Now I'm just the queen of all things.
Stephen got nothing, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I'm just WB. I'm second WB.
You're the king of where do you get those shirts? The king of where do you get those shirts?
What I will tell you guys is I said this last episode for episode 3 that this show just gets better and better, and I felt this way for episode 4 as well. I'm just ridiculously invested, like an unhealthy level of invested in this show right now.
Well, that's how it goes. My name's Tehran. I will be hosting this panel, and we're talking all things Netflix's Lucifer, and I'll tell you this. I am super invested in the show. Actually, I would become an investor in the show if I could.
Why don't you? I feel like you can.
I feel like
the bathrobe isn't going to translate to that?
Well, Turkish Pete, who was playing an Arab, is actually Persian, so maybe I have a way in.
I see the roundabout thing you're talking about.
That's a real thing.
Okay.
That's a real thing that happened on the show. What were your overall thoughts of the episode?
I don't know. I was upset that you were right. It was Eve, because you absolutely called that immediately when you saw the Appletini. So I was like, okay, great. Tehran's going to gloat a little bit.
We all called it. We all knew exactly what was happening.
No, I'm surprised that more people didn't catch on because, okay, so it wasn't written anywhere that that's Eve. That wasn't the confirmation until later. People were binge watching it the way we were binge watching it. And I felt like that was Eve. I noticed immediately the foreshadow of the first love, clearly Eve, and then the Appletini. Who else would order an Appletini?
But that's the thing I'm telling you. When she ordered the apple, I thought this was a random mischievous person walking about. Because when she ordered the Appletini, all I was thinking was, really? We're going to have a hot-ass chick walk up like that and order an Appletini? Where's the whiskey? What do you got? Where's her tequila shot? You know? It was a strange pick. I wasn't thinking Appletini.
How's Lucifer going to, be with a girl who orders an Appletini, right? You know?
That kind of exactly
right?
my thought,
like,
and that's obviously stereotyping. But if you're drinking an Appletini,
why? What kind of person drinks an Appletini?
You know, it's a guy or a girl who kind of doesn't really like to drink, is a little more fancy, is kind of gonna have one drink for the night, is kind of bratty. Like you've got, if you could see me on iTunes right now. Something like your hand and shoulder is weird. You do this.
That's who orders an Appletini is the hand and shoulder person?
You know, it's kind of like, I'm literally doing the emoji of that person. Like, oh, I had another Appletini.
I need to speak to the manager.
Yeah.
That's the Appletini.
Can I please talk to, but it's not let me talk to the manager. It's, can I please talk to the manager?
That's how it works.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to get to that in today's breakdown as we talk a lot of things. Of course, we're going to go over the case, but then we're going to go to the heart of the show, what the case really meant. Talk about Eve, because Eve was definitely the highlight of this episode. Lucifer has trust issues, and we get deep into that. Lucifer and Eve. Let's see if we're shipping it. Chloe and Lucifer start seeing other people. Maze and Chloe need space. Linda and Chloe, they have a little support group that I thought was very interesting. Linda tries to baby-proof her house. Eve sees Lucifer while Chloe sees Lucifer and Eve. We all made that work. Is Eve a rebound? Some news and gossip, of course. Special segment, Circles of Hell. And predictions and much, much more.
Yeah.
The case.
It's a lot,
The
baby.
case. Every week I want you to be wrong that it's the first guy we see, but every week it's the first guy we see.
I'm telling you. So the victim, Pablo Silva, hotshot jewelry designer from Beverly Hills, just got back from the Middle East. So boom, I was in it. Cause of death, manual strangulation. Horrible way to go.
Personal, super personal.
It's super personal. And of course, who do we get as the murderer? Toby Golden, co-owner of the Golden Silva Jewelers. The first person we see.
Golden Silva.
What do you think that the
That was a
writers
great name,
do?
by the way.
Yeah.
What do the writers do in the room here? They're just
We need a pun. We need a pun.
You know, you say that, but these names are actually kind of brilliant. If you listen to people's names and the names of companies on the show, it's actually
No, they're
amazing.
good. They're
They are
good.
very good.
We've got great writers on the show.
are.
It wouldn't work if we didn't, because it's a show called Lucifer about the devil that you're supposed to love. So if we didn't have great writers,
Wait,
boy.
you're not supposed to already have an intrinsic love for the devil?
No.
I thought Sabrina was preparing us for this.
Friend of the devil is a friend of mine. No, nobody.
No.
Is that a Grateful Dead reference?
No, that's,
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, that's too deep a reference as we go.
It's a-
We don't have a love for the devil, Sabrina, and then a friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I'm not going to hell for this show, guys.
I'm not going to be a Turkish person pretending to be a Arab pretending
None
to be
of the
a
people-
Persian. I've got to make my Grateful
just
Dead
not-
hippie reference.
I'm
None
not
of the
gonna eat
people who were
pistachios.
Arab on the show, by the way, were Arab. And
That sucks.
Wait, what?
okay, so here's the thing: you could tell immediately that
Do you know this for a fact?
I know this for a fact.
Okay.
And I know this for a fact because when I looked at it, I was like, they're not Arab. So then I had to go look it up. And I was like, they're not Arab. So because
Man.
Bashir had an Israeli, there's a specific type of Arab accent. And while, yes, I understand how all Middle Eastern people can get confused with one another, there's a difference. Okay, we all know, bro, boom, we're talking Glendale. We're in Armenia right there. When you're buddy, okay, we're in Beverly Hills with the Persians. I get it.
And
They're
for
different.
anybody listening on iTunes, Tehran says this with authority because
I'm half black, half Persian.
There we go.
And I've been researching these people my whole life.
All right.
With an Egyptian Jewish grandmother. Like, I'm deep in the game.
Not at all.
Yeah, I'm in this game.
He's a descendant of Adam, it
Yeah,
seems.
and basically exactly how it goes.
Yeah.
Exactly how it goes. And the concept is that I found it very fun and funny that that the people portraying these Arabs, the Arab playboy lifestyle. Because you go and he's in the hot tub and he's like, "Hey, what's up?"
It was some Arab guy, you know, Buster, Billy, baseball bat.
Bashir, he's like Basir, like Bashir Al Fassad, the concierge of crime.
That's a great name.
Yeah,
Yes,
Roxy gets the Queen of Brains, but like
this is the
you're not the
Concierge of
concierge
crime.
of crime.
No, why not? You guys
Yeah.
should have given that to me.
That's actually a good one to say. And of course, Chloe comes in and uses Lucifer's favor.
Not legit, girl. You can't use somebody else's favor,
Especially
and
the devil. Listen,
the devil's favor.
you know he's the devil now. Now you know he's not Lucifer, the playboy
yes.
billionaire club owner. He's the devil.
Not only that, but even if he was just your homeboy, you can't use his favor. And if you are if you're going to be giving that favor, so you're Bashir, you have to call Lucifer and confirm. Can't just go around collecting other people's favors.
To be fair, though, he seemed to have an entire knowledge of Lucifer working with Chloe and them being really close and kind of a more close friendship than we would have assumed with Lucifer.
That's a good call.
So if Tehran showed up to the studio and was like, "Hey, can you open the door?" Roxy said to come by and pick up a red carpet kit. I'd be like, "Oh, okay, that kind of makes sense." Like Roxy and Tehran are close.
I see what you did
Makes
there.
sense, yeah.
Okay, fine.
It does make sense.
But-
He did name drop, but he had understanding of Chloe's.
Deeper dive on this, though.
Yes.
It's not a red carpet kit, though. This is a huge favor. We've got a necklace on the line. We've got a $10 million necklace on
$3
the
million.
line.
At that
Only
time.
worth 6 after
The death.
Pablo's
Fine.
dead.
And then
Okay.
10 because
But
Auction.
Lucifer.
deep dive. Making a deal with the devil is supposed to be some contract of the soul, right? So if Chloe can nullify Lucifer's powers, can she nullify contracts with the devil? Because I don't know. Or was it just like a gentleman's agreement that they owe a favor?
Here's the
I
thing.
think
we've
it was
seen,
more like that.
We've
Okay.
seen Lucifer, much like actually powerful people, and this is a principle that we discuss in macroeconomics. The concept is you cannot buy power. And really powerful people collect favors. They don't collect money. They don't collect bills. They collect favors. And Lucifer collects favors. We haven't seen any soul exchange so far when Lucifer has a favor.
Okay,
it's
fair.
more he's there and he's the plug. Like he's the ultimate plug. You need something, Lucifer hooks it up, but you know you owe him one deed.
And everybody wants to be plugged by Lucifer.
Yeah, because
That's what
he's
you're
the
saying?
ultimate plug. He's the ultimate plug. So he's the ultimate plug. I would think that Stephen would do that.
I'm sitting so
Oh,
close to
plugged
him.
by Lucifer. Got
Okay,
it.
all right. So we get the case. Actually, and in this one, there were a couple things that happened with the case that were very fun because we get Eve. And we get this knowledge of who Eve is through the case.
I'm obsessed with her. You don't know when you're watching this, is she going to be good or is she going to be evil? She's got that thing and you can tell she's deceiving him, but at the same time, you want to trust her and she's so cute and bubbly. I haven't seen a character like this on TV in quite a bit, and I think she's bringing that extra energy to the show we need. Now that we're on Netflix, we can't just stick with the same characters we all knew and loved. We got to bring in new blood, and she's the perfect fit for this show.
I did not like her at first, but like this episode really makes the character grow on you really quickly.
What didn't you like about her?
I don't know. It just seemed too airy and like completely oblivious to the ways of Lucifer in terms of like how he has his own problems, he has his own life going on. But then like you slowly learn like, okay, yeah, as we were talking about before the show, I think you called it Little Mermaid syndrome, Tehran, or was that you, Roxy?
I never get the credit for what I said.
It was a Roxy.
She's like Ariel, look at the stuff. Isn't it neat? I want to kick him in the balls and grab him by the hand. Like, that's her in this, as she just wants to fight everybody, be that person who's get in the bar fight, experience things for the first time. I'm sure she wants to try all different kinds of booze. Maybe she didn't know better than to get an appletini. She watched it on a TV show once. Maybe she really would like whiskey better. I just think she wants to live, learn, experience, and so she's wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah, I mean, once I started like having that acceptance of the character, I really liked the character, and she really grew on me. I also think it's funny that she can just appear in like a dusty old tomb in the middle of near Dubai and then just be good looking enough to get invited to a private jet to fly to LA. That's just real life. That's how it works.
Well, the significance of it being near Dubai. So the concept of Garden of Eden, once again, another Persian reference. I don't make these things up. The Garden of Eden is located right in the center of where Iran and Iraq would meet. Mm-hmm. That is the concept of Garden of Eden, to the point where we get the word paradise from this concept of Garden of Eden, and it's a Persian word, paradis.
Well, damn, Tehran.
And also you get the idea of Adam and Eve from Adam. Adam means human, Adam, and Eve means Hava, air, words that are still used in Farsi today.
What about, air, maybe that's why she's so airy.
No, it's because man needs air to breathe, but air has no purpose without man breathing it. That's the...
I feel like air has tons of purpose without man breathing
This is I don't
Oxygen's
write the
pretty
rules.
important
Okay, let's
to the
get
universe.
to Lucifer's. Oxygen's very rare in the universe. It's actually very rare on Earth too. Like it only makes 20%, like 23% of the atmosphere. But whatever. Anyway, let's get up to Lucifer has trust issues. So Lucifer,
and for good reason.
Yeah.
and we see that at the end when Eve she still has the jewelry.
Yeah, I think that it was interesting how hard it was for him to forgive Chloe for anything, or if he will forgive Chloe for anything, and how much quicker I think he will be to forgive Eve based off of the fact that this is a huge betrayal as well. But Eve comes clean about it really quickly.
Immediately. And it explains it, and her explanation I felt was
Sweet and
it was
genuine.
very sweet and genuine. Like, if the case was closed, we couldn't have fun, we wouldn't be together.
Mm-hmm.
He also laid it on pretty thick of like, yeah, when the case is over, you can leave. Oh, let me get you a hotel. Oh, like get out of my life.
Yeah, but I think while she does come on a little strong, we see her giving him the eyes and wishing that she was staying at his place. She's been pining over this man for thousands of years. It's probably all she's thought about. I mean, I'm sure other things as well, like fluffy clouds and stuff. I don't know what heaven looks like. But she's had a lot of time to think about this. And so I'm sure she knows, like, okay, I can't be that straightforward, but I do need to find a way to play the game a little bit. And that was the necklace situation.
Do you think Pablo Silva went to heaven and now it's the Silva City?
Okay, all right. So let's talk about
No.
Let's talk about Chloe and Lucifer kind of breaking up.
It sucks.
It definitely evokes an emotion. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, because, with their character, they've built it up so much. You're hoping that finally she'll come to accept him, and we leave off the end of last episode knowing that she can't. And it's now him dealing with that. I think it would be very disappointing if in this series they don't end up in some way, shape, or form together.
I agree with that. Although when I stop being so invested in them because they're day one and OTP and all of the ship terms you want to use, and you actually look at this episode, which by the end he shows her, and by her I mean Eve, his face, and she accepts him.
She doesn't flinch at all.
She doesn't blink. She doesn't flinch. She looks at him and loves him regardless. If I'm friends with Lucifer and he's coming to me like, which one of these people should I end up with? I'm recommending you should go with Eve. So I feel torn because I'm more invested and committed to the Chloe-Lucifer relationship, but Eve might be a better partner for him.
It's true. But I also have the knowledge of the prophecy, which is bad news is coming.
But the prophecy could be for both Eve or Chloe. The prophecy wasn't clear on which one is the love.
It's at first love.
Oh, that's true.
It's at first love.
But do you think that Eve is Lucifer's first love, or do you just think Lucifer is Eve's first love?
This is what makes me think that there's more to this story. And what makes me feel that the way Lucifer was acting, by the way, there is a Pierre at Waldorf, just to let you know. So it's a very good nod to Pierre at Waldorf. But
okay.
For the hookup, Pierre is obviously the plug at Waldorf.
Yeah,
but
right.
The concept is there seems to be a situation where Eve might have broken Lucifer's heart a little or something of that nature. The way he's so refusing to accept his ex, this isn't good terms in a way.
But do you think
he's reluctant?
Do you think it ever was in not our Bible, in the story that's being told on television right now?
Yes.
In their history, do you think that Lucifer was in love with Eve?
Yes.
No.
Interesting.
I don't think he was, because it was temptation. It wasn't like, hey,
lust.
It wasn't like, hey, I love you, let's go run away together. It was, well, this is interesting. Look what my father's made. Look at these toys, and let's see if I can corrupt them just a tiny bit.
I think that Lucifer was hurt by Eve, and that to me is proof of love.
Okay.
Because if it hurt, why would it hurt?
So you think he's been in love with two women in all of his time, and that is Chloe and Eve?
Yes.
But if the prophecy is his first love,
Then
then he
her.
hasn't technically been in love with anyone. If it hasn't come true.
No. It's saying his first love. It doesn't say that you will meet your first love. It's like if I was like, if Steve and his first love get together, the world will end. Well, whoever was your first love, all you have to do is be in close proximity. It didn't say they have to love again. It didn't say they have to be in love.
Because the prophecy, I understand where you're coming from, though. The prophecy was written after that.
Got it. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And my whole thing is, and that was the foreshadow, we get Eve as that prophecy is revealed to us. Something else that was revealed to us is that Maze and Chloe need space. Maze...
I think that this is been a long time coming, because Chloe has put up with a lot, and now she's trying to handle all of these things and all of these realizations. And I might say at this point that Maze is her best friend. Would you guys agree with that?
I would say that they are definitely very good friends, if nothing else.
I think it's fair to be confused and need a second of space, especially like living space. And
move out though?
I don't know.
The Trixie
Are
thing
you paying
really.
rent?
The Trixie thing though, like that's a big betrayal of trust and a big betrayal.
And Chloe
Knives.
didn't say no when Maze was waiting. There was that pause.
Yeah, and she just went with it.
She let it happen. She was clearly she was upset by it, but she let it happen as if this is for the best.
I don't blame her. I don't know.
Their relationship this entire season hasn't been good, and judging by Linda's pregnancy and everything like that, and how far along everything's going and how quickly it's moving, I feel like there's more time that's happening than we expect. So possibly it could be like, again, there's a whole month of Maze and Chloe not having a good relationship and probably avoiding each other while living at the house. So like after living with a roommate that's making you feel really awkward and passive aggressive for an entire month, it's probably time to move out.
You guys are calling roommate as if she's paying rent. It's a crasher. It's a squatter.
She is paying rent. She got a job to pay rent. She got the job of being a bounty hunter.
What do you think that
I don't
rent
know how
is?
much I don't know if she's paying. But
Either
that was-
way-
There's no way she's giving her like it's a beautiful house. You think she's giving
She
her
doesn't-
$2,500?
I don't think Maze has a need for money. I think she has a need for purpose.
Questions on that. Questions on all of these people and their finances. I mean, how are we spending so lavishly? Amenadiel, homeboy, what are you doing? How are you?
Your wallet got stolen, but you still got money.
I think it's the concept. It's the vampire theory, right? Vampires they are
They
so
acquired
old
it.
that they've acquired everything through time. And let's not forget where they are gods, the creatures of God. Even something like the Catholic Church is the second biggest property owner in the world. So when it comes to God, whatever we can say about God, God is a money-making machine.
Mm-hmm.
So money is not a problem.
What if Lucifer just like made a bank account back in the 40s or something and just let that build interest?
Let it build interest forever.
And Amenadiel's got the same deal going on.
1600s.
All right.
And it works.
And they got rent
Fine.
control.
Yeah.
But back to
Nobody's
me.
looked into that from the government.
Hey.
Back to Maze and Chloe, I think it makes sense that she would, after a month or longer of just being treated coldly by Chloe, she wouldn't want to live with her anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, people, we can't live without all of you, all at home.
Facts,
we
baby.
enjoy you very much. Thank you so much for being a part of AfterBuzz. You are, if not as much, more so a part of this panel than all of us. We enjoy all the favorite shows that you do, which is why we provide so many after shows for each and every one of you. We do ask for one little thing. Comment below. Enjoy. Involve yourself. We need you to share and subscribe. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, give us that 5-star rating. I feel like we so greatly deserve.
Yes.
And I want to thank each and every one of you for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
I agree. We want to read those comments too. We got to
We-
see what you guys are having to say.
We do. I need really quick, is Eve a rebound?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, she is.
Because we see the scene where Chloe comes in and sees them together. Chloe feels some type of way. Lucifer just felt accepted. Is Eve simply a rebound or is she the real deal?
Rebound.
Can a ex be a rebound?
Yes.
Yes.
I've used many of my exes as rebounds.
I'm using one right now, like we're rebounding.
Okay.
And if she was a supportive person like all of you, then she would see that happening on
Is she a
AfterBuzz.
rebound or more of a layup? Ayo.
So here's the thing. So we do get Linda and Chloe talking about everything, and Linda comes clean. She gets a little crazy, and then Linda baby-proofs the house. That's something really nice to see. But we get a lot of more of...
I love this scene. Before we move on,
Yeah.
I love this scene between Linda and Chloe because I
too.
felt it was
Such a
so
good scene.
it was so important to have that because it's like now that everyone's kind of knowing, not everyone, but multiple people know, it's suspension of disbelief if we don't have these characters actually start talking with each other. And she's literally a therapist to the devil, and Chloe hasn't gone and talked to her yet. It just wouldn't make sense if they delayed it.
I also agree that it's nice to hear somebody else is freaking out.
Yeah.
When you're freaking out and nobody else around is freaking out, it makes me freak out more.
But she's looking forward to being a mother.
She's
which I thought
having
was
an
really
angel
cool.
baby.
It could have wings.
It could have wings. I
I
mean,
don't
that's
think
special.
so.
Do I
Not-
need a C-section? I love that.
It's not going to have wings if he no longer is an angel and now is a human.
That's
No,
not
he
true,
was.
though.
He was an angel. Then he was human when he possibly procreated with her.
Right.
And then is back to being an angel.
Yeah, but the DNA was
Sure.
when he was wingless.
So, like, there's, like, tests they could do to figure out if his human stuff turns back into angel stuff
That's
after
right.
time.
We should take this to Maury.
Maury.
Let's get into some news and gossip, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, well, Maury actually wants us to know. Just kidding. That's not what actually happened. All right. So they've been doing the press circuit, as you guys know. And Tom Ellis, our very favorite, is talking about a possible season 5. This was via Collider. He said, I feel like we haven't finished telling our story yet without giving too many spoilers away. With any show, you could ultimately finish at the end of any season, and either you're left with a massive cliffhanger and people are left unsatisfied, or you get the opportunity to tell your story until the end. I think that we would all love to come back and do a season 5. We'll just have to see what Netflix says. My question to you guys is, if you are betting men, which I know you aren't, do you think this is coming back for a season 5?
Gambling's a sin, but I will say we have Roxy in our corner. And if Roxy
For
can make
sure.
a season 4 happen on Netflix, I feel like Roxy can make a season 5 happen again on Netflix.
Do you think I need to change the hashtag, save Lucifer, to keep Lucifer?
Keep Lucifer.
Hashtag keep Lucifer.
I think you need to change it to watch Lucifer. I think the only thing going against this show is its first 3 seasons. Because it's such a strong show for the first 2 seasons. The third one, from looking at everyone's tweets being like the third season's not as strong and then the fourth just blows you away. You need people to get through those first 3 to get to this fourth one and be like, holy crap, this is amazing on Netflix. We want a season 5. But with all shows, you know, it's hard to convince people to dive in on a show that's 4 seasons in.
I loved season 3 so much. I loved all the seasons.
Too. I will say this, that Netflix said that the show did very well on Netflix. And that's one of the things we see, because maybe geared towards the demographic of people who binge watch instead of wait watch. And we didn't want to wait.
I would say, barring Disney buying DC and all properties under it and all comic books related to it, I think we're going to get a season 5.
Wait, what?
Because Netflix canceled all their Marvel series based on the Disney merge.
But Disney's not going to buy DC.
You never know.
You never know. They'll buy everything.
I do know.
Let's play our special segment, Circles of Hell.
All right, guys. So the 4th circle of hell today we're dealing with is greed. So as this episode works out, you guys know that we're dealing with a necklace that's $3 million turns into $6 million, turns into greed with everyone. You got the business partner who's dealing with Pablo, who can't seem to get his head on straight and ends up killing him over it. This whole thing's based on monetary greed and the greed of wanting things. So
I don't know if the whole thing, but yes, there's a lot of greedy elements to it. But I think that those are the parts of the show that we tried to literally kill in this episode.
Well, greed in the biblical sense doesn't only refer to money. It can also refer to behavior. So greed for wanting to have fun, like we see Eve, who's just interested in the mischief of it all. That could be greedy.
Well, it's divided into people who hoarded their possessions and the people who lavishly spent it. So I think that Lucifer is definitely within the second category.
I'm going down, by the way.
Are you more of a hoarder or lavishly spender?
I am a lavish spender who hoards for no reason.
Good.
And what about Eve? Eve's kind of driven by greed in some ways because she doesn't have everything that she wants, even though she's in the Silver City, even though she could potentially have everything that she's ever wanted.
Yeah, but
she's greedy for life.
I love what she does, though, which is when they could not help Decker, she looks at Lucifer and is like, let's do this. Let's help. Let's be bigger people. She's not that girl who's super duper catty or greedy and going to take your man because she can. I think she's not very greedy. She's Ariel, the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Mic drop on that one, apparently. Okay.
Yeah. Or she's a zombie from hell. We don't really know. Let's get right into predictions and figure out how this one works.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Stephen Lemieux.
I don't know what's going to happen next, but I assume that the next person we see is going to be the murderer.
You like that, don't you? Roxy?
I think by the end of this season, Ella is going to know about Lucifer.
Oh, that one's strong.
Really?
Yeah, I do. It's been too long. We're on the 4th season.
I like that.
And she's like one of the only ones, and I think she needs it.
Yeah, she's the one that doesn't know, and she's the one who's most confused right now. I think that Eve is a little more mischievous. What can I say? I've always been a bit of a rule breaker. She says this. Paradise can get a little predictable. She said that. And, of course, I like the fact that the breakdown with Linda and Chloe was, with all the bad comes a lot of good. And so Chloe's going to be back on the train, but I don't know if Lucifer will. Well, we'll find out because we're binge watching this with all of you. Until then, where can people find you if you want to be found? Stephen Lemieux.
You guys can find me every day here at AfterBuzz TV. Follow AfterBuzz TV on Twitter and Instagram.
You guys can find me at Roxy Striar.
And of course, I am Tehran, literally at I am Tehran, all across the social atmosphere, and hosting and paneling on a slew of AfterBuzz after shows. We watch all the TV programs that you love, so make sure to check us out. Until the next Lucifer episode, which we're going to get into right now, episode 5, make sure to check us out. We'll see you right back here.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.